Hey guys, welcome to the Vibes TCG with the TheProfesserf. Alright, in this video we are going to look at the final rankings for Season 0. Season 0 officially ended midnight February 21st, 2025, and Season 0 is the first ever competitive season for the Vibes TCG. And the top 8 players in Season 0 are the first players to qualify for the 2025 World Championships. So let's jump into the rankings. So we're not going to waste some time here. We're going to jump straight to the top 8. You're looking at the first 8 players to qualify for the Vibes TCG World Championship later this year. First place, we have Laffy, followed by Umu, Dropout, Smoochny Dranik, Puppet, Barbecue, Top Hat Panda Magician, and Caution Fun. So these 8 players have been battling it out and have finally qualified for the World Championships. Congratulations to these players. Let's take a look at our top 20 rankings and look into the data on how much effort these players put in. We could see that last week on the video update, represented by the blue bars, we'll see the amount of wins each player's had at that time. At the end of Season 0, represented by the red bars, you can see how much improvement and additional wins each player's added. So the top 8 ends right here with Caution Fun, but you can see how much some players, their blue bars, have grown all the way up to the red bars, the discrepancy there. That's how many wins each player's put in during this last 8 days since the last video update to secure their spot in the top 8 for Season 0. We could even see a couple of players cracking the 1,000 win barrier. Laffy at 1,002 and my TST teammate Bonk at 1,032. Eri came in at 953, pretty close. So you could really see how much work and games each of these players put in. So that's our top 20. Let's look at it a little bit closer. This is the Professor's rank tracker. We could see last week's results, how many wins each player had in the top 20. Here's week 4. Week 4 is the 4th time I was tracking it, which is the end of Season 0. You could see Laffy went from 935 wins to 1,002. And focusing on the ranks, Laffy was in rank 1 last week, so his rank didn't change. We can see Zelt here as well on rank 16. He was 16 last week, 16 again this week, so no change. But look at all the other ones. Huge changes here. We could see Umu moved up 6 spots. So he was at rank 8 last week and moved all the way to rank 2. Dropout moved up 7 spots, biggest jump out of everyone else. Smoochny and Puppet moved down just 1 spot each. Barbecue moved up to secure his spot and be a little bit safer. Panda Magician lost 1. Caution Fun dropped 6. Caution Fun was previously rank 2, dropped down to rank 8. Bonk dropped 4 spots. So unfortunately right now Bonk is on the bubble. The top 8 made it to the World Championships and Bonk is in 9th place, right on the bubble there. And even down here you can see there's some big changes here. Players moving up 4 spots, some players moving down 3 spots. And the final column on this side, you'll see the number of wins each player put in the last 8 days. So just looking at these numbers here, you're seeing some really big numbers. So I'm going to break this down in the next graph here. We are looking at the number of wins these players in the top 20 put in 8 days. So the last update was 213. Today is 221. So that's about 8 days of gameplay. Leading the pack, Dropout put in 394 additional wins since the last update last week. Umu and Peace put in about 320, 331 wins there. The rest of the players put in over 200 wins. The real big divide here you'll see is this line right here between Caution Fun and Younger. So the battle for the top 8 really was on this little divide right here. From Caution Fun to the left, these players are the ones putting in a lot of time and games to really secure their spots. The ones on the right side put in some games as well, but for the most part, they were never going to catch up onto this side just because of the amount of games that these players over here on the left side was putting in. So last week's update, if you recall, there was only a couple players that put in 200 or more wins. So this week, that number was blown away. We have 5 players putting in 200 wins and 3 players putting in 3 wins, with one player almost putting in 400 wins in 8 days. So if that's not staggering for you, take a look at it with the next graph here. We're looking at the average wins per day estimated. So I took the number of wins that each player put in and just divided it by 8 days to get an estimate of how many wins per day they were averaging if they were to spread out those games and wins from 214 to 221. And this is the final standings. You can see that Laffy was pretty secure in his first place, so he only put in about 8 wins per day. Umu and Dropout were the ones that had the big jump in terms of rankings. So Umu put in about 41 wins per day, and Dropout putting in 49 wins per day, almost 50 wins per day. That's just amazing. The rest of the pack were averaging about, we'll say, 30 wins per day. Peace putting in 41 wins per day to try to catch up there. However, it was a little bit too late just because of the amount of effort the rest of the top contenders were putting in. And you can see some of the players on the right side here of the graph putting in less wins, whether they were busy or not grinding as much, just because the amount of wins the other players were ahead. So this is just an amazing visual here, seeing how many wins, 3 players putting in at least 40 wins per day, the amount of time and effort and dedication to that. So that's the end of season 0. I hope you enjoyed looking at the breakdown of our top Vibes player. And as the season ended, the team put out a announcement announcing the official end of the season and congratulating the players. You could see here that every player that reached Dummy Thick, which is the very top rank, is going to receive physical playmats, so commemorative souvenir items for the game. So if they are to play the Vibes TCG physically in person, they get to show off a special edition Season 0 Dummy Thick playmats. That's just very awesome collectible item there. And again, we can see that here are the top 8 players that earned their spots at the World Championships. Laffy finishing rank 1 gets the first official buy, so he automatically qualifies for the second round of the World Championships. So currently he's in the lead to win the prize money. Congratulations to Laffy. And here's another staggering stats. All the top 8 players played at least 1,000 games, and their win rate was just amazing. Close to 80% win rate there. And here are our top 8 again: Laffy, Umu, Dropout, Smoochny Dranik, Puppet, Barbecue, Top Hat Panda Magician, and Caution Fun. So I recognize a lot of these names. Shout out to our Team Stream Team community members on this list. And a special shout out to my TSD teammate Caution Fun for making the qualification list. So that's it for this edition of Season 0 Top Vibes Players. Hope you guys enjoyed. Plenty more seasons to come, so hopefully you guys will be eagerly waiting for the next edition of this data dive into our top players for Vibes TCG. See you later.